Oh dear, sorry.
It's all good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so weak.
I can
Yep.
hear people. Yes.
Definitely coming through.
Yep.
Hello, hello.
This is exciting. Cool.
It's wow.
Shock is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
primary feeling, I think.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
everyone expecting Shepard, or
I was hoping for Shepard. I was seriously like, they're not that evil. They're not that evil to like clearly show an N7 armor and then like just it not be Shepard. But then part of me was
I
like,
was
no, we're
also
not gonna
very
see a part of me was like, we're not gonna see a face, you know? So
Yeah, I thought maybe helmet. So, but I don't know.
I wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I was expecting cruelty and a debate, and I was expecting them to be really mean and like show something and then be like, just kidding.
Psych.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
be the first time.
Well, it
but,
kind of
um,
felt like
Very
that.
true.
I don't know.
Very
Yeah.
true.
What were we
With-
joking about, Ash? We were saying like we were expecting it to be like they'll show a flash something to be like, see you at the Game Awards or something like
Yes.
that. We were like,
Yeah,
no.
I honestly, I 100% thought it was going to be that. I thought it was going to be like a little teaser, 20-second, and they'd be like, and you'll see the rest at the Game Awards,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like, I
exactly-
really
Maybe
thought
that's
that's what they
what'll
were going to do. Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
less
You
of an
never know.
idea.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's around this. It's early December. The Game Awards. I think it's normally between
Yeah.
the 4th and the 7th. Something
It's
like
December
Yeah.
7th, I think.
that. Yeah.
That's
so
the
I
last
wouldn't be
time we-
surprised at all if there's a longer
Well-
trailer or something a bit more significant to it.
Hopefully. I mean, that's when we saw the Liara trailer, you know, the initial teaser trailer,
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
2020 at the Game Awards. So it's been 3 years. So it would be nice.
Do we dare try and pick apart what's in the background and stuff? Because Mike Gamble has said in the last 10 to 15 minutes
Yeah,
to
look
look
closely.
closely.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's such
Let's
a
go for it.
tease.
Well,
Oh,
there's
he really
buildings
is.
in the background, and it's
Yeah.
very much like there's flying cars and everything. So it's
Yeah.
very much civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they
Yeah.
playing Eden Prime music is my question.
Someone
Like,
said that in
is it
our
Eden
chat
Prime?
earlier. Yeah.
And
Well,
also
just
the
for nostalgia?
concept art that they shared,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
was
there
for
was
the
posters and stuff as well coming
I-
out. Yeah.
I think for me, this trailer gives me very futuristic vibes, but I
Yeah.
think, like,
Yeah.
and obviously the teases that they've had today have mentioned Andromeda.
Mhm.
I don't know how they're realistically going to connect the two in, like, a way that makes sense, I guess, with anything that we've seen
Yeah.
without having to kind of, like, do something that is maybe a
I-
little bit more out of the box, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
I-
I think
Yeah.
today really just opened up more questions than gave me any answers.
Yeah.
Mm,
As Bioware
Classic.
does.
Yes, as they tease and do. Yes.
yeah, for sure. Because they
So I
meant they
think,
mentioned
Mr.
the Oh, sorry, go on.
No, sorry. I just Mr. Hulton just rated in, I believe. So
Oh wow.
Oh my God! Wow, thank you. That's amazing.
welcome, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What did Mr. Hulton think? Is he in the chat?
I don't know.
I'll keep an eye.
Sorry,
out
go
for
ahead,
it,
Kate.
just in case. Yeah.
So I was saying, obviously, that they mentioned in one of the, distress signal detected, and then obviously they mentioned like, from Andromeda, and
Mhm.
obviously year sent redacted. Obviously, Andromeda is set so far in the future. How how can you possibly pick up a distress signal from the future?
Exactly. And I just mapped out like the timeline, including everything regarding the Keylessia. So that ship sent its last message like 50 years. I think it was 50 years. I'll have to double check my timeline. I'll pull it up here in a little bit. But so also because in the past they have said that they want to address the Quarian arc storyline, but there's no way to do it without being in the Andromeda timeline, because there's no overlap with the events of the Outbreak or really anything from the original trilogy. So I don't know how they will connect that if we're not being in the original trilogy's timeline. And realistically, I think that we need to see the events of Mass Effect 3 and what happened after the end before we address anything in Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't that like basically what they were alluding to in the blog post? Because they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what happens after? Who died?
for
Who
sure.
actually died?
Yeah,
What
who
do
had
the Krogan
babies?"
babies look?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They even have a Krogan plushie now, a Krogan baby plushie. Like,
Oh my god, I'm
believe it.
ordering that straight away. Yeah, 100%.
I'm really, the way that I see it now is just like, okay, I personally, because they've been very much like, okay, original trilogy, of course, but also Andromeda, and they keep on saying it, or alluding to it, and we even have the date in the
the date
Defiance one. They mentioned the year straight up, so it's like, okay, this is the combination of the two. We got it. So like for me,
2819.
Yeah, exactly. Which is for Chad, it's whenever the arc got to Andromeda. So we have a date. That's the first date that we have that they've acknowledged, I guess is the best way of putting it, for this game. So it's completely possible. I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, it's just like, okay, I think this is the timeline we might actually have to work with this year or that year.
They really wrote themselves into such a corner.
Yeah.
With placing it the way that they did, just so that they wouldn't have to address Mass Effect 3's endings. And like, I'm sure they'll figure it out. They have some really good writers, but at the same time, like, I so desperately wish that Mass Effect Andromeda was not placed on the timeline where it was, because I mean, it's so complicated. They're so far apart, connecting any storylines. It's just frustrating to have to like see the hoops that are probably going to have to go through to connect those, and have to choose between one or the other.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't played Andromeda for a really long time, but Andromeda leaves between 2 and 3.
Yes.
And then it takes 600 plus years to get to Andromeda. So by the time they get there, Mass Effect 3 is already done and dusted. They're only just getting that communique, I assume, from Liara saying, "Oh, you know, there's probably not anything to come back to here." So in terms of what one of you was saying earlier in regards to trying to merge the two stories, as it were, you'd have to go quite far down in that kind of story timeline to be able to get the line from the end of Mass Effect 3 to join up with the line that Andromeda's now created.
Or you'd have to have some
Andromeda's already 600 years
MacGuffin.
ahead.
Yeah, like
Like,
some bullshit,
like
yeah.
wormhole or some kind of space-time anomaly, like something. That's the only way I can think that they would, you know,
do we
be able to.
think that the teaser from last year, which is the sort of half-built, strange-looking mass relay, which I assume you all think it's a mass relay at this point, do we think that's something to do with it? And that's possibly the MacGuffin that's going to make it faster to travel between the Milky Way and Andromeda, or vice versa.
I always got the idea that that was like
That makes the
remnants
most sense.
from whatever happened at the end of Mass Effect 3, like, you know, depending, like, destruction of one of the relays or something. But it's been such a long time, I need to rewatch that trailer again.
But with a mass relay, you need to have a start point and an end point for mass relays, as we know
That's
them,
the thing.
obviously. So, I don't know.
And it confirms that the Reapers haven't been to Andromeda, and since they made the relays that they wouldn't have made like relays in Andromeda. There's obviously no relays in Andromeda. So how the heck would the Andromeda Initiative talk to the Milky Way? Like they don't even have communication. So like I'm just that one relay doesn't make sense to me at all.
I don't know, that from rewatching it always kind of gets me the idea that it was like remnants of something that happened in
unless they make multiple of them and they have them like a bit of a slingshot type thing where they travel ahead of each other and like sling off of each other. I don't know, like off of each other. I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know if that's possible.
Is it this? Did the Systems Alliance make it? Like,
well, the transmission is
Cerberus color?
I think it's Cerberus colors personally, but I don't know how Cerberus would have the resources to be able to make something like that.
Spent most of those on the Lazarus project, wasn't it? So,
and obviously, I'd be curious to see the state of Cerberus after Mass Effect 3. Obviously, after the Elusive Man is taken down, I'd be very curious to see the state of Cerberus. I'm just curious to see the state of the universe and the world. So I want some degree of like closure, which I feel I didn't get like with the original trilogy. Like playing it now, Legendary Edition with the extended cut, it is way better than it was. But I played it way back in the day when it first came out. When it was, as it was at the time. So I think and I think that's where the blog post, obviously, that Mike Gamble mentioned is about that closure. But closure for every person is different, right? The people that you romance, the people that are still dead or alive, like that's people's own choices. Like Rex is alive in my game, but he could be dead in someone else's game, right? Like I encourage the romance between Garrus and Tali because I totally ship that in my game, but you might have romance Tali or Garrus in your game. So
I just picked up something on Twitter from Mr. Holton.
Oh, right.
I did see this in the chat earlier as well. Apparently, Krogan detected between 4 and 6 seconds of the trailer.
Krogan detected?
Okay.
I completely missed that.
They released an official one on the Mass Effect one on the Mass Effect channel.
Okay.
Okay, give me one. I was trying to pull up. I don't know why my Photoshop's not working. I am totally new to streaming. I'm so sorry to anybody who's watching and is looking at a black screen. I'm trying.
But we appreciate you being here.
You're doing awesome.
And organizing all of this.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, thank you guys.
The tweets by Mr. Holton.
Okay, I'm going to need to bring those up.
Okay, so
it's
4 seconds?
I'll put it in the...
Yeah, between 4 and 6. It looks like they're sitting on a box in the background.
Yeah, he's shrouded in shadows. You can see his little light on him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
put it in the server.
Oh, it's on the BioWare. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. Ignore me.
He's in the shadows. Look for the red light.
Yeah, there's a little red light.
It's
on the
Kathleen
box in the
Kennedy.
background. Yeah.
Okay.
Just as it comes into the trailer, he's right there.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. You can see the shape of the
oh, this is the reflection.
Yeah, like the dome shape.
Yeah, he moves his head slightly.
I'm just getting word from my sister who's watching the stream that Kala's voice is kind of quiet, as well as I believe Zodaris.
Yeah, that's me. Yes. Yeah, I was told that by one.
Kala, if you can increase your volume.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll turn it up. And I'll talk closer to the mic. Hopefully that helps. I have like my computer, my iPad, my phone open because I'm trying to look at Twitter and the chat and everything.
It's truly N7 day.
Yes.
Chaos.
My phone died. I had to plug it in. I was looking and that hard on my phone. I had like 10% battery left. So I had to plug it in.
Okay, so if we slow it down, is there anything else that we can see? Also, did those canisters in the back look like anything? Kate, I know you said those reminded you of the
Yeah,
pods
I
from
think that was
Andromeda.
me reaching. They're just canisters.
They
That's
do
me
kind of
reaching.
remind me of that, though. Like, their aesthetic. I know that's, like, it's definitely a reach. But I do see it, and that was kind of the first thing that I thought of when I saw it, too.
Okay.
bombs.
And
We're
also,
bombing Andromeda. Just kidding.
Stop.
Can you imagine?
It's a heck of a
I
rescue
remember
mission.
like in the Shadow Broker DLC, I want to say, like, remember those weird things that you had to like put down in order to like make your way across the ship, like when the lightning's coming down and stuff like that?
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like it
yeah.
might be one of those thingies, but like that's so random. I don't know if it's just an
Mm.
aesthetic thing that it's just canisters. Do the canisters mean anything? I don't know.
The annoying thing is there's like clearly some writing on it, but it's just blurry enough that you can't read it. You know,
And it's
See
and
what
it's
they're
what
doing.
this
Yeah.
and it's what this base is as well, because obviously in the actual footage it says like that, like this person, whoever this N7 is, has clearly broken in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Systems
So-
Alliance
What's up with
Oh.
that?
Yeah, a breach. So obviously, whether they're
And it
working
said
solo or working
Breaching Systems Alliance, right?
right.
What?
I had it up. Let me find it.
Is this even a protagonist, or is this
I
a
want it to
rogue
be an
N7?
Yeah,
I
I
want
could see
us to be the
people saying
antagonist.
What if it's an antagonist?
Yeah.
Especially
might
the
be right.
style. The style is so like Kai Lang. It reminds me a bit of Kai Lang. That kind of flair,
Mm-hmm.
like of it.
That kind of sass with the turn back at the
Right.
camera.
Yeah.
The hood.
Yeah.
The hood.
I did say I felt like there was a shoulder shrug at some point
Yeah.
when they look at the
Mhm.
camera, and I'm just like, "This just
Yeah. Such sass, man.
Pulling out
Maybe
the
they're talking to
pistol.
their Krogan buddy, you know.
Yeah.
having a
It's
chat.
gonna be one of those antagonists where you're like rooting for them a little bit.
Yeah.
You're just,
Maybe
oh, I love your
it's-
vibe.
Maybe it's a bounty hunter or something like that.
Maybe.
True.
I was
Okay.
saying then we watched it originally is like when they're bringing the gun down, it sounds like the arm's robotic as well. There's like a clear noise when they bend the arm that there's a robotic noise.
Mhm.
So who
Well, I thought that
knows?
was a gun.
That's what we were talking about.
That's
We're
what
like,
I
well,
said.
I know, but I don't know. I think it sounds like the actual white
Oh.
noise, not the gun itself.
Someone in chat said there are flying cars in the background. Oh, you know what?
Yes,
You
they were.
can.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
buildings.
Are there?
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
If you look
Yeah,
in the
it's like a
windows
Thanks
at the
for pointing that
beginning,
out,
going to the middle
T.
part of the trailer, you can see them going in the
Uh-huh.
background, which made me originally
And-
think it was the Citadel, but I
Oh,
don't think it is.
yeah. I'm seeing him now. Okay, I have to ask: does anybody still think there is a possibility that this is Shepard?
No.
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't
It
think
doesn't
so.
feel like Shepard. Doesn't
Yeah,
move. Doesn't
I-
walk like
I
Shepard.
I agree. I think I was smoking that copium and
We all want Shepard.
Same,
You know,
We
we
all
all
were.
want Shepard. I was literally like an hour ago. I was convinced it was Shepard.
same. No, same. I was
Same.
like, it's
No,
gonna turn
same.
around and she's gonna have the
Yeah.
red hair, and we're
Oh,
gonna
I
hear
was
Jennifer
looking
Hale.
for that, and
I'm
I was gonna
have to go to the
cry.
emergency
Definitely.
room. So I was like so convinced, and I have to admit my stomach dropped a little bit when they turned around and it wasn't Shepard. I was kind of like, oh, I should have known, shouldn't have hyped myself up, but at the same time,
Yeah.
that copium really got to me. But
Mass
I mean, they
Effect does
still
that
look really
to you.
good though.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like the
I was shocked.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be
guarantee you.
reaching, but it's
Oh.
just like this video felt to me kind of like a huge contrast between the other teaser with Liara, because like
Yeah.
the blue, the black and red is like a huge like, okay, Liara represents like the hope, and then
Yeah.
this character it represents like,
Mm.
you know, possibly the
darker.
evil, the
Renegade,
yes.
renegade.
Renegade.
Yeah.
And the concept art we have
Yeah.
seen has been sort of those sort of red hues, and
Mhm.
it does seem a little bit darker, like what the concept art that we've seen for the two worlds, with the skyscrape and the little like Sari worlds, and there was one world which for me looked like maybe Ilium. I don't know if it is, but with people wearing like face masks and things like that, breathing masks
Yeah.
and things from last
Yeah.
year. So
True, yeah.
maybe this is on connected to one of those worlds. Like even when you see the out, it clearly where they are is not breathable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be wearing their helmet.
I thought
do
it
you
was
guys
from
think
the concept
about-
art. Yeah.
What do you guys think about like on the boots of this person? There's like a white stripe and then a red stripe. Like
Hmm.
I
That was
thought that
the
it would
first
go
thing
like,
that-
white, red, white. Like what's
Yeah.
going on?
And that was the first thing that when I saw that, I was like, that's Shepard. Like, don't
Yeah.
show me these colors and then but at the
Yeah.
same time, obviously the N7 is like its own designation. And I made a whole video about how
Yeah.
I don't know if realistically, even if we get a new protagonist who is an N7, I don't know realistically if those colors and the N7 like iconography will ever not be intrinsically tied to Shepard.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such a problem with Mass Effect. If they want to move beyond Shepard, they're going to have to find a way to, you know, because even still, like, yeah, this probably isn't Shepard, but still, because of the N7, the red, black, and white, you're going to have people who are going to think that this is Shepard because it's everything that we've known Shepard to like have aesthetically. So I feel like if we're getting a new N7, they need to tell us that, I guess, at some point. I'd like that to be one of the first things that's like confirmed, so that I can set my expectations and like go in realistically, you know. I just feel like that's the branding of Mass Effect is N7, but the branding is also like N7 is Shepard. So how do you move past
That's
that?
one of the issues that they had with Andromeda, because all of the marketing initially was Alec Ryder, you know, was then another N7, and we thought we were going to play as Alec Ryder, and then we obviously didn't. We ended up playing as, you know, Sarah or Scott. And even myself personally, I could never allow them to wear the N7 armor because it was so connected to Shepard, and I didn't feel they earned the right to wear that armor. I had nothing against the characters. I liked the characters. I liked the writing, but N7 for me is so intrinsically connected to Shepard. And again, we've talked about them writing themselves into that corner, and they've done the same with the marketing. With everything Mass Effect is N7, right? But we will always compare any N7 to Shepard, and Shepard will always be the benchmark, and that feels unfair to any future protagonist that may well take over the N7 like
and I also feel like after Andromeda, the way that they did market it, with Ryder Senior being the N7 of Andromeda, and then having Andromeda not be about, you know, Ryder Senior and having him die. Spoilers if you haven't played it, sorry. But like it was really just used for marketing and then just kind of abandoned within the first like 2 hours of the game. So I just feel like they knew that they had to use it for marketing to bring people back to Andromeda, but they knew that they couldn't use it for the entire game. So if this next game, I feel like will have to be the opposite of that. They're going to have to realize that they can't just rely on that for marketing, because people are going to associate with Shepard. And also, like, they can't do what Andromeda did and do another switcheroo, because Andromeda is like shrouded in the original trilogy nostalgia. Like, you look at Ryder and you think of Shepard, etc., etc. And I think that's one of the major problems. So I think that's going to be one of the major issues going forward, is how do they balance establishing a new character and not having them be completely designated in the shadow of Shepard.
Yeah. I think that's where
I'm
you
just
need
seeing
that
this
passing
thing.
of the baton.
Yeah,
go on.
I'm just seeing this thing on Mass Effect News that I wanted your guys' thoughts on. So Zordy Fox, Mass Effect News reposted this. So the Epsilon, Oculon, and Nebula kind of references are representing like the stages of forming a galaxy. So Epsilon is the first stage where a galaxy is formless matter of energy right after the Big Bang. Here, I'll send this to you guys. I'll send this to you guys on our server.
Wow.
So you guys can look at that. Oculon is the next stage where the first structures of pattern in the universe begin to emerge, and the Nebula is a well-known stage where gas and dust clouds are the birthplaces of stars. So are they hinting at I don't know, like a different galaxy, like, or a merging of the Milky Way Andromeda? Like, what do you guys think about that?
But don't we have to, like, I think, like, they have to address the endings of Mass Effect 3 and what happened, what our choices led to. And you can't, I don't think you can do that unless you set a story in that world and build that world. So I guess to me, it just feels really weird if we're going to like an entire brand new galaxy, and, or I mean, honestly, even going to Andromeda. I don't know. It's really hard to say what they're gonna do. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have no clue. Like, this is just making my head spin now, because you've done the Milky Way, you've already gone to a new galaxy and, you know, left everybody behind and stuff like that. And now they're kind of hinting at, you know, like, all I can think about is that one Gamble tweet where he's looking at, like, he put a thinking emoji on the Milky Way and Andromeda, kind of merging. I feel like that would be obviously very drastic. They are like 2 million light years away. Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me, but
And extremely
everything that they've
destructive as well.
yeah, like well, yeah, it would be very destructive. But
Massive
everything they've
repercussions.
hinted is so confusing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's fun to theorize on, but like
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going here with forming a new galaxy. That's what they're hinting at, right? Like,
Unless it's like all like symbology or some kind of like rebirth or something like that. And going back to like Shepard, it's like it's probably very
I'm
unlikely
here for
it's
that.
going to be Shepard, but there is I suppose theoretically Shepard could exist in this world. There's Shepard clones and things like that. Who knows how they may try and bring back Shepard.
I completely forgot about the clones there for a second.
AI, things like that.
Actually
like,
a thing.
So I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of like it's a big like metaphor for some kind of rebirth of something. But I don't know. Trying to merge the two galaxies together, that would just crazy.
Do we all think that Shepard's gonna come back? Like, what do we all think the Liara picking up of the N7 insignia is like? Because I'm firmly in the camp of I think that means Shepard's coming back, but everything since has been like nothing.
I think that when Liara looks at that helmet, she looks like she's having a moment where she's like reminiscing and is like remembering her good time with that's how I interpret it. I interpret it as
it's
very much
more about seeing the N7, I think.
Yeah.
And then that's triggering the memories she's had rather than saying, oh, this is Shepard's helmet.
Yeah, and I think that's how I see it too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like there were a ton of N7s to begin with. So I think there's 7 or 8 that we know of in the original trilogy, including Alec Ryder. So it's hard to not look at it and be like, well, why would she be finding other N7s? Like, why would she be looking at it if it isn't Shepard? Again, it's the problem of them using N7 iconography while having that so branded to Shepard that it's hard to know what it means. And at the same time, something I want to point out is Epsilon, Oculon, and Nebula all refer to Mass Effect 1's original names that they could have been before they came Mass Effect. So yes, we're seeing a ton of Andromeda connections, but I'd also argue that they have stated that Mass Effect is like returning to its roots, and we've also seen concept art of places that look familiar. And with these names today, that makes me feel like they're returning to the roots of Mass Effect 1 and like really trying to ensure those callbacks. And like Oculon was the name for the Citadel before it became the Citadel. So there's just a lot that's also like, we're seeing a lot of Andromeda references, but there's also a ton of original trilogy connections in there too.
That's a great point.
So I just don't know.
It's so confusing, yeah.
Everything seems to imply it will be in the Milky Way galaxy, but obviously we know of the next Mass Effect. We don't know what their plans are after that. Obviously, I think they have confirmed they're not going to be doing another trilogy. I think, but the question is it going to be set soon after Mass Effect 3, or are we going to have a big time skip? It seems to imply that we're going to have a time skip.
In which case, after this, the time skip,
the current state of the Milky Way galaxy then will be completely up to question, as will technological advancements, right? Because we're talking, 650 years, give or take, in the future. So it'll be still familiar because we'll have obviously familiar races, and there may well still be some characters still around. Obviously, Liara. How old's Rex in the trilogy?
He was already pretty old at that point, wasn't he?
He's pretty old, isn't he, at that point? But maybe we'll get to meet Rex's children. I would love that.
Maybe
yeah.
Grunt.
Yeah, maybe
There's a
Grunt
grunt in the
will
trailer.
still be around. So there may still be that connection to the original trilogy, and that might be how they're going to do that closure that we haven't had, where we might not necessarily meet the characters, but we might learn about them, right? And like what happened, like to the galaxy and what happened to these characters that we love, and we might meet like the descendants of Garrus or whatever. I don't know. I'm completely speculating, but that's the only way I can think that they could still keep that connection to the Milky Way. And then obviously if they do find a distress signal or something from Andromeda, maybe technology has come far enough that they're able to communicate, or I don't know.
And see, we do have a few ways that they could do some kind of like connection or time travel, and I talked about this when I did my timeline video, so I made this whole timeline here. And there are two major ways that essentially could work. So there's the Geth telescope, which we know is how they charted their way to the Helios cluster in Andromeda. And with that, you could essentially see in like real time. And also the Citadel itself. Like the Citadel itself is known to basically be more than meets the eye, whatever. There's like a ton of purposes there that I'm sure with good writing, they could essentially do anything. But when I think about when people talk about the two galaxy timelines converging, you have a major problem with that because, so I have the timeline up here, and on the left-hand side, this is like everything from the original trilogy is in orange. So right after Mass Effect 3, there's a major time skip to, 633 years later in Andromeda, and you don't have any overlap. So even if Ryder and Shepard or Liara say they talk, how could that work? Because Ryder would have to talk to Liara in 2819 or 2918, and then or the other version of that is that Liara would have to talk to Ryder when it was 2186. So they can't be, according to the time travel and timeline, I don't realistically know how that could ever be an actual overlap unless Liara goes to the Andromeda timeline, or they do some time travel, black hole, I don't know, and bring Ryder back, but I don't see the point in that. So realistically, to me, I see the timeline either being directly after Mass Effect 3, and maybe the Geth telescope is like receiving Andromeda transmissions, or maybe we just get some type of callback to Andromeda. I don't know. It's like they've given just enough clues where literally anything is still possible. They haven't narrowed anything down with what they've showed today. They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
And they might not have narrowed it down for themselves.
Yeah, what do you guys think about, so in the MR7 relay thing, they hinted at like 11/07/90 or whatever the heck, right? What was the date that was hinted today? Was it
2819?
2819? So that's when the Nexus arrived. So like, what are they?
I have
like,
no idea.
Is it 2890?
Oh, wow.
Is it 2190? Like, it's just, they're definitely confusing us. I think we're supposed to be confused, which is why I'm leaning more towards the fact that it might be a time thing. Like there will be a bunch of time weirdness going on because they keep not committing to anything.
Maybe they
I don't know.
Do you guys think they know? I mean, they've been so many years.
I think they know.
They have to know, right?
They could also be using, because
they
they're still in pre-production, right? So nothing is ironed down. Nothing is ironed down. So they may still be spitballing ideas. Now they might be using these to test the community.
Yeah, true.
See what people are talking about, see what people are speculating on, see how people feel about things.
But that's really risky too, right?
It is. It is.
Like, you have to enter production eventually, and if you're not sure of what you're doing, like,
you need a clear vision. That's the problem that Anthem had. Like, it didn't have a clear vision, you know.
And Andromeda as well, to be fair, when they had to lash out.
The fact that Gamble keeps saying like intentional and like, look closely and all that stuff, I think they have a plan. Like, I would be genuinely shocked if everything was just let's see what people are thinking. Like, that doesn't,
and
I
then
don't think that makes sense.
When they reveal it, to be like, oh right, it was that all along.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can look back.
Yeah.
and be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, that's what
It's
that
so
meant.
obvious. Now I look back at it.
Yeah.
I would say that at least for a year so far, they have at least a vision of what they want to approach, especially since they've been very strong on we're going to be combining Andromeda and the original trilogy, or I guess the Milky Way specifically. So it's clear that they have a vision, but this is the only time that we're actually seeing specifically an N7. So in my head, it's kind of like, okay, they are trickling this and in my head, good reason, because they also still are working on Dragon Age. So it's very much like, yeah, we have stuff working, but at the same time, we're still far out.
Yeah.
Also,
years
away.
That's what it feels like.
It also looks like the trailer was done in engine, which is really cool. Obviously, they're using Unreal. Like, they've hinted towards it several times. Like, we know that they're using Unreal. And it looks amazing. It looks really
I'm happy
good.
I'm so happy. So happy they're moving back to Unreal Engine, because the original trilogy was in Unreal, I think, right? It was only in Andromeda that was in Frostbite, and that's why we had so many of the alien races like just not looking right, you know, like the Asari and the Taurians, like not to sound racist, but they all the same. Like for the Asari.
They did.
So
other than like PB, like all the Asari look the same, including Lexi as well.
Yeah. So I'm glad, you know, that they're going back to Unreal. I'm excited for that. But
Mike Campbell's confirmed it was an engine, so he just confirmed like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Which I cannot believe. Like, I mean, obviously the Legendary Edition looked really good. Andromeda looked really good, but I can't wait to see hopefully more of the original trilogy's aesthetics and like designs, especially with Derek Watts returning as the art director. So I'm excited to see what this game is going to look like visually. Like, if this is the glimpse that we're getting, it looks amazing so far.
Yeah, I think as well, while Andromeda obviously was in Frostbite engine, Andromeda didn't look bad.
No.
Like,
agreed.
Really good,
Agreed.
Environments were beautiful.
Yeah, like they were big, wide open spaces. They looked fantastic, and obviously the main issue most people had was animations, and obviously technical bugs and things like that. Because Frostbite wasn't built for a third-person game; it was built for first-person games and probably sports games as well, which FIFA uses it as well. But even with FIFA, it's glitchy as all heck as well. So it's not. It was really made for.
There's a new poster.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh,
sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Where is it?
Oh, they posted on Bioware Twitter.
Okay.
Wait.
And is of the character and the armor.
Oh.
And oh my god.
Oh my
Oh my god. Share this right now. I need to see this. I need to see
Within the
this.
coat swirly thing.
Oh my, what is?
Oh my
somebody
god.
zoom in.
Holy shit! Look at that.
I mean, cosplayers are gonna love this whole
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, there's red and blue.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
I
have a
want to
field
cosplay
day.
this.
What's in chat?
So pretty.
Wow. I love the neon and
Yeah.
Oh, that is nice.
oh, that looks so
You know what?
good.
The coolest
And
thing is that, look at that gun. Like that gun is like
Yeah.
it's sleek.
currently we've ever seen.
Silencer on it. Hey.
That's an assassin's gun.
Yeah.
It is.
Says N7.
You know, it totally reminds me of
Highland
like the armor reminds you of like, you know, Warlock gear and like Destiny. It's like
Yes,
really,
absolutely, yeah.
that helmet and
100%.
the collar.
Yeah, I thought it looked.
Which
Yeah, I was
club
thinking.
is this? Is
So
this
pretty. Yeah, what club is
Omega?
that?
Is this?
It
It's a
definitely
club of some
looks-
kind. It just,
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we zoom in on that?
Yeah, I'm
trying to zoom in on my own screenshot.
I don't know how.
Is a
to-
Hanar?
Afterlife
Yay.
Omega, most likely Omega.
Yes, I'm glad we're gonna get Hannah
Omega.
back.
I know.
Awesome.
I'm double checking.
Yeah,
but I think
right?
it's Omega.
Blaster
Please.
returns.
Blasto, come
Yeah,
on.
but we
I
do
need
Hannah
more
and
adventures of Blasto.
Could you imagine
Or
if it's just a
afterwards.
big tease and the entire thing is just a Blasto movie?
Yeah.
I would be so here.
I want a side mission where you can
I'll
play
take
as
anything.
him.
The
Yeah,
colors
I
are
don't
wrong.
think it's the Citadel, either the Flux or
Rise has
Orison.
more red tones, but it
Maybe.
kind of it could be.
It sort of has vibes of Afterlife, yeah.
It feels so weird though, because like this person looks so cool and stuff, and now they have this Omega thing. Like, are they the protagonists?
Yeah.
Would they tease an
Definitely.
antagonist poster?
I
I
mean,
don't think so.
No, I
Right?
think they're.
I feel
I
like
think
this
it's
is
more main character
us.
energy right here. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so this is the main
Yeah.
character then, and I don't
I-
think it's Shep, which is confusing.
I want to be
Mhm.
the enemy.
It's just a renegade, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly,
So
every time I see
futuristic.
this, it's like how could
I love
Daft
it.
Punk do this? And two,
Yeah.
like
Okay, so
he
I've
just
got
looks like I'm a confident freaking antagonist. I want to
Yeah.
be that girl. I
sorry,
want to be
like-
my villainess era for this
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Just look at
Yes.
that gun is so cool with that like silencer and everything. It's
The
so
villainous
Mm.
arc
And the
incoming.
N7 on it, yeah.
yeah, it's definitely more
Mhm.
futuristic than anything we had in the trilogy.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure. This is why I think it's ahead. That's why I think it's a. That's what
Why
makes me
is, like,
think that because
the-
the style.
It's
so
giving
I'm
Blade Runner.
zoomed in right now on
Oh, yeah?
the poster. So I want to go through really quickly and see if we can see anything. Obviously, we're seeing humans.
Asari.
Yep,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
we're at the
Asari.
front.
I wonder what this is back here in between the two figures that are up close. This doesn't look like a typical, maybe a
No.
Turian.
Definitely Turian, a
Um,
Hanar, I think a Krogan. Wait, in the
I think there's a
middle.
Krogan at the bar.
Yeah, I see
yeah.
a Krogan there in the middle. Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
this look
definitely.
like an Angara, or am I just going crazy?
Which one?
Enhance.
Oh, I'm trying. The
Oh.
pixels are only so big.
Oh, here in the corner.
Which side?
Right here, just kind of the way that it's hunched over there.
Okay, let me zoom in on mine.
Oh my god, yeah, next to
There's,
the
there's a head
hammer.
right.
Oh
in the
man,
way.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe.
Yeah, because the person sitting next to the table at the far distance does have like the Angara.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
right at the back. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
right
also
there.
the one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Omega and Angara? Question mark.
And we
Oh,
have
no.
seen in that red piece of concept art, which they released for N7 Day last year, there are two Omega symbols in that like city skyline.
Yeah, I didn't
So-
notice that.
Yeah, so there's two of them, and there is a from the Silver Sun strip. There is also a logo, but it's turned upside down and is a different color. But it is from the Silver Sun strip from the Citadel DLC. So, and obviously everybody knows how great the Omega like nightlife scene is and all that stuff. Obviously, it will like that aspect will return, but I think that we could be actually returning to Omega.
Mm.
They
It definitely
hinted
has
so
Omega
much Omega.
vibes. It
Yeah,
definitely
the
has Omega
colors
vibes for
especially.
sure. Yeah.
What do you guys think about like it's so interesting. They have like the warped effect going from the N7 symbol like on the arm down. Do you think that's just an artistic thing or
Biotics.
are N7's going to be biotic stuff?
She's a vanguard. She's.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
I was gonna make a really bad joke.
Ooh.
Never mind.
Oh god.
I just I'm so curious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really have no idea what
It might be good
what
for
they're
that
gonna
kind
do.
of like nebula thing because they're talking about nebulas and stuff. It might be something.
Yeah,
to
like
that. Like
it seems so like there's a warp effect. Like I'm leaning a lot more towards the time travel stuff just because like there's so much there. There's also on the gun there's like a red line
little
that's
strip
kind of
Like
like
a
planet
charge?
line. Yeah, what's
Almost
up with
like
that?
like a charge weapon, maybe. Maybe it's something
Oh,
to do
yeah.
with I don't know. Or the safety's on. I don't know.
I gotta say the colors, I know that like red and blue are part of like Mass Effect colors, but it also
Mhm.
really, really reminds me of like the Renegade Paragon.
Paragon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. 100%.
Maybe that's going to return more kind of because it wasn't as pronounced in Andromeda. So maybe that's a hint that it will return more for the next Mass Effect in terms of
I
those
hope
like
so.
Paragon and Renegade, interrupts and options, you know, more options. Maybe they'll go
Yeah.
back to how it was in the trilogy rather than the 4 kind of responding like either emotional or logical or, you know, like they had in Andromeda. I wonder.
Yeah, it was interesting having
Mm.
those 4 things.
Yeah, I mean, I like Andromeda, but it really lacked, to me anyways, the maturity and kind of like the grittiness of the original trilogy. And that is something that I really hope that they return to, with kind of like exploring darker themes and having maybe like darker content, and just kind of like a more mature feeling overall. So the fact that one of the very first images that we're getting is this one is kind of hopeful for me. Also, is there a little dude right here? What is this? Okay, I can't see when I zoom in. Does anybody see this? Like, is this a small Krogan next to a big Krogan?
Oh, I see what you mean. I see
I'm
what
not
you're saying,
seeing your mouth.
Oh,
what?
Just next.
Oh, wait,
it
just
could be a
maybe, though.
bolus, maybe. I would love to have boluses just there, you know.
I want my
Yeah.
biotic gods back, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Oh.
Let me play as a bolus for Mass Effect 5, please.
Oh, I think you might be right. Maybe.
Is it a bolus?
Is it a
There's
tiny
There's a little
I
round
think-
thing next to the Krogan, yeah.
standing next to that
Yeah, it's
humanoid
about yeah.
figure, though?
Yeah, I think you guys are
Isn't
right.
it kind of tall?
It's round. What do you think it is? It's round.
This
I would say
Solarian is
Krogan.
really, really big. I wonder if they're going to
Mm.
introduce the other species of Solarian. I cannot remember what they're called. But they're the Solarian that were basically, they have wider bodies, they have more muscles, and they have like just like a larger frame overall.
Mm.
And they were in one of the comics. I'd have to look it up again, but it's just interesting what they're showing here. I wish this was more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting as well, like
I am a great wind. Sorry.
yeah, the image. If you actually look at the people in the bar, they look very wealthy, very kind of high society. Like the way they're dressed,
Yeah.
the style of it. It doesn't in that way. It doesn't scream Omega like that.
Yeah,
you know, that
that's an interesting
underbelly.
Oh,
point.
that's true, huh?
But it seems
true.
more like not cyberpunk, but it almost gives me vibes of that, like this kind of like spy espionage, like kind
Is it
of.
the Citadel?
I don't
Maybe?
know. I don't know.
It could be a
seat of
completely new
power.
place.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
could be, yeah.
but it definitely gives me more vibes of that. Just from looking at the clientele, should we say, of the bar. It's very interesting.
It's high society.
It's definitely. It seems that way.
I'm seeing on the wrist of this character, on their right wrist, there's blue and red, I think. So even though we're feeling renegade-y vibes, there is blue and red. I don't know if that's just another Paragon Renegade reference or...
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Looking into everything right now.
I will say though that the helmet kind of reminds me of a motorcycle helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's swanky.
Reminds me a little bit of like a Phantom,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know, with the
I was
style.
thinking the Solarian enemies. I don't know where we face them, but it seems very Solarian for some reason. Obviously, like they're presenting as humanoid, but remember one of their helmets looked kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
when I was trying to snipe them in the head. That's first impression.
Somebody in chat said this is the person who killed Jean Garson.
Oh my
Who
god.
is the benefactor?
Oh.
That's still a mystery.
Wow.
We don't know who killed her, so it's still a mystery.
Is this the benefactor?
Oh,
Like, we don't know.
we don't know.
If we played the benefactor all along,
Oh, but the
Oh.
benefactor
twist.
murdered Gian Garson. Are we
Is
the
that a
benefactors?
problem?
I'm so confused. That's a great point.
And did anybody see if the N7 is on the back collar of the...
Yes, it is.
Is it on the helmet or is it
Yeah.
on the collar?
It's on the collar.
So have
Yeah.
we not seen
Collar.
an N7 on the actual helmet then?
Not as
I
far
think
as I'm aware.
no, I didn't see
no.
one.
Okay.
I didn't notice one, which is
There's also one
unusual.
on the there's
Yeah,
also
that's
one
why
on
I
the
was-
gun as well. So
Mm.
Let's see here. Oh, I think I have to change. Oh no, it should still work.
I just love how teasy Mike Gamble is. Someone asked him whether it's like related to the original trailer of Liara, saying that are they on the broken relay from the earlier teasers? And he's like, maybe it's connected. I was like, such a tease.
Oh,
like,
He's
just,
such a
no.
tease.
God.
Mike
Honestly.
Gamble.
God.
oh,
He's living
that could
his
mean
best
anything.
life right
He's having
now.
yeah, this is his favorite day ever.
Oh, it is.
He's
Yeah.
loving it.
Oh
Builds
yeah.
up to this day, and then he's like, just like tease everyone.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm looking at the helmet here, and the N7 designation looks like it is on the back of the collar, but I will say that everything about the actual helmet itself absolutely looks like the N7 that we have now, just futuristic and I'd say like simplified.
More sleek.
Yeah, definitely
More
more sleek. I
streamlined.
don't see the
Mhm.
N7 though on the helmet itself.
No.
Which is odd. Just because you would think that with, like, we talked so much about how the N7 is, like, so iconic and whatever. And we've always known the helmet to have the designation. It's just a little weird that it's not on this, but is on the armor, the jacket.
I'm just so curious as well because obviously, you know, even with Shepard as the main character, you know, N7, even when wearing Shepard's helmet, you always saw the eyes, right?
Yeah.
And when you cover the face and you cover the eyes, you're hiding something. Obviously, they're hiding the real identity of this person, but also for the character, it just makes them even more sinister for me. I know they might be the protagonist, but I don't know. There's just something about that. Like, there's a certain level of trust when you can see the person's eyes, at least, or see their reaction. But this, for me, just seems... That's why I'm still not sure it's the protagonist.
I guess I see it as them, and I think them not revealing a face confirms more for me that, like, Shepard is not returning, and we'll be playing as a new N7, and they've kept the identity hidden like they do with the Dragon Age trailers, where they kept the Inquisitor's face hidden and kind of obscure. So that's, I guess, the vibe that I'm getting.
Maybe we will see them. Hopefully we will.
But it'll be another year before we get any more information.
Can you imagine?
No.
Maybe next year it'll be like 4 little snippets of them just taking off the helmet. Who knows?
Hopefully
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year Dreadwolf has
Oh.
come out so that they can focus on Mass Effect 5.
That's
They
the
give
thing,
us a
isn't
solid
it?
hint, yeah.
Because they obviously want to give a sneak peek and a hint, but obviously the focus of Bioware at the moment is Dreadwolf, and they don't want to kind of... we haven't had any reveals for Dreadwolf in quite a while, so maybe they don't want to completely like step on Dreadwolf's toes, so to speak.
Yeah, no,
So they're being
agree. Yeah.
careful, I think.
That's true.
But I
Well,
do
maybe
wonder
the-
if they'll show this at the Game Awards. Maybe even a longer version, because clearly there's that Krogan there. And there's more, like, I think that there's more to this. So maybe there's a longer version. Maybe that we'll see at the Game Awards. But then again, at the Game Awards, maybe we'll get a Dragon Age one. But they did have that year where they showed both, so I don't know.
Bioware has a history of doing both. Although
Yeah.
the last time they did that, it was a lot of Dragon Age and then a snippet of Mass Effect. So it's like, it's doable.
Yeah, that's
They
why
could do
if
it.
they played just this, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know.
Or they might even do a behind the scenes thing where they, you know, they interview developers and show some concept art and they talk about, you know, working on the next Mass Effect. They might do something like that, possibly, with hints in the background, maybe, rather than an actual trailer. I think we're long overdue for a trailer for Dreadwolf, and I think that's the next thing we're probably going to get, and maybe even I don't know. I mean, a release date would be nice. just to give us a rough idea, like a window, so I can book some annual leave off work, mostly. But yes, I don't know. I would like a trailer, of course, for Mass Effect, because I love Dragon Age. Don't get me wrong, but Mass Effect, it's my baby,
Yeah.
So I love Mass Effect. It's the first game that made me fall in love with gaming, pretty much, and inspired me to make a channel. So Mass Effect 3. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see next month. Also, actually a few people have brought this up in the chat about whether we think this is Liara, and there's no way her head tentacles could fit in this.
No.
There's no way. They would push into her brain. So
I just don't think it's Liara's style.
Yeah,
I also
me
just
neither.
don't think, unless she
Yeah.
went and did the N7 training, she would ever wear an N7 outfit. Knowing Shepard, I just don't think she would.
I think she's too
I don't think it fits her build.
Yeah.
She's too respectful of Shepard as well to do something like that, because she knows what N7 meant to Shepard and what it means. I don't think she would do that. I am so curious what the
N7 is a human
Liara
designation, right?
Yeah, I am curious what the redacted is though with Liara. Obviously, there was tears last year.
Oh man,
Shadow Broker and redacted. I really want to know what that redacted part is.
Same. And
maybe an N7.
maybe. I
maybe.
do see people speculate all the time that she's the benefactor, and I gotta
Doesn't
say,
make sense.
that's one of my least favorite things, because timeline wise, there is absolutely no way, the way that the timeline exists now, because she only got the Shadow Broker resources 3 months before Andromeda leaves, and they started building and production and funding the initiative several years before that. So there's no way for her to be. So I still don't think that we know what that is.
That's not to say that Liara doesn't have a ruthless streak, though, because when you meet her at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, when she's the information broker on, is it Ilium? I'm not
Yeah.
But you meet her for the first time. She's in that phone call with somebody, and she is ready to.
Yeah, she has a little bit of crazy in her.
So yeah,
I
she's
think,
got some.
The timeline doesn't really fit, because if she
But no, it
knew, if she was a benefactor and she knew enough information to send people to Andromeda as a failsafe, she would have then relayed that information to try and save the Milky Way as well.
Also,
unless she was like,
what benefit does she have of getting someone to kill Jen Garson? There's no
Yeah,
benefit
that's
there
the bit
at
that
all.
just doesn't make any
Yeah, I
sense.
totally agree. It just
She'd have the
doesn't make sense.
resources to do it.
Yeah.
yeah, she
but
definitely would. But,
it's the Jean Garson. It's that element that just doesn't fit for me. Why? It's like you're sabotaging.
You're sabotaging the
the
person
thing.
you're funding.
The person that you're funding.
Yeah,
Doesn't make sense to me.
No, not at all.
Liara
So-
can be ruthless, but she also knows the benefit of having resources at her side.
Yeah.
So she
Mhm.
she wouldn't
Mhm.
throw
She's very
away
calculated.
someone
she's
She's
ruthless
useful.
to a point. Like, she's generally ruthless in a almost paragon way.
yeah.
So, also, Michael Gamble has tweeted that he is going to post a high quality version of the poster on the Mass Effect website that we can download soon, so we can zoom in.
Brilliant.
better.
Zoom in
So
even
stay
further.
tuned.
I'm saying there's
Fantastic.
Geth in the poster.
Is that now? Is that
No.
something?
in the actual bar.
Well, that's what they said. I don't know.
Mm.
What's our thoughts on there's a Krogan in this new trailer, and there's a Krogan in the last trailer. What are the chances that they're... Do we think they're the same Krogan? Two different Krogans?
Some people have said that it's a Turian in the trailer, in the teaser trailer from 2020. I see it as a Krogan. Does anybody else see it as a Turian?
I feel like I see
No.
a Krogan and a Solarian, and then maybe
Right.
human, maybe in the background. but
Yeah.
I always thought it was a Krogan. Something like a side profile.
Yeah, same.
For me, it looked like a
I
Krogan.
was just curious.
just because of the silhouette.
I don't know if it would be the same Krogan though, as in the one
No.
we've seen today. This is a different vibe.
It might not be. Yeah.
This is the good crew, and then
Yeah.
the N7 might be the
yeah.
suspicious.
I'm curious how Liara is connected to this N7 as well.
Is she?
I don't
it just
know.
went
Is
up.
she? Are they
I
going to
just-
connect to
What
some
went
up? Just went up?
I don't know.
Yep.
A poster.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Okay.
that happened fast.
Wait, is that the HD one? On
Ye-
Gamble?
Or
Can you send it?
hold on,
Yes, please.
did he
Oh, I see
really put a zip
it.
file?
Oh, this-
Michael Gamble.
Oh,
He's driving me
oh,
crazy
Michael.
He's just sniggering wherever he is, just like doing the
He's
the
finger
gift.
and
He's the
hand.
gift that keeps on giving.
Excellent.
He is.
He's got the evil finger scary saying, good,
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
He
I
legit,
have them right where I want them.
he has done a zip file.
And now nothing free.
It's a zip file. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
exactly. Oh my god. Mm.
I posted in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Oh
thank you.
wait, not in that chat.
Oh, is that the?
the high def version?
Save image.
Let me get
You
on.
can see the people on the. You can like just fully zoom in now. that totally looks like an Angara, by the way. At the
does
back.
it? Okay, hold
Oh,
on.
Oh
Um,
my goodness! Yeah, you can zoom in.
Oh,
It's a
that is
You can
volus.
zoom in
so
really.
much
It's
more.
a bolus.
Yeah, it's definitely a volus.
Confirmed.
Oh, that
Oh,
is
guys,
so
Guys, that's
much
an
more high
Angara at the
def.
table. That's an Angara.
So the guy next to the Angara and then the weird creepy dude in the cloak with the glowing eyes. What do you
Yeah,
think that is?
yeah. I
Who's
don't
that
know.
man?
New maybe. Hey, I don't know.
And I don't like how he's staring at us.
Is
not
that a
gonna lie.
vulture?
What the hell is that? I don't know what
Wait,
that
wait,
is.
wait, wait, guys. Is this Turian next to the Hannah on the right? It's the Turian is
Not
wearing
Garrus.
Garrus's eyepiece. Is that
Yeah.
Garrus?
It surely can't be Garrus. Surely Garrus is.
Okay, I
I thought
finally
it's
got.
He wears it
sorry,
on the
stream.
he wears it on the right
Garrus.
eye, right, or left?
Yeah.
Did they just reveal Garrus?
Shut up! No,
No
stop.
shot.
So much
No.
Oh
better.
shit,
Guys,
you're right.
so
Hold
much
on.
better.
Okay, stream.
Explain.
Sorry, I'm fixing it.
What the heck?
I can't shake the feeling. But wait, he's standing. Who is that?
What is that?
He's very Garrus-like, isn't he?
Mm,
I don't know,
helmet.
guys. That looks like Garrus.
I don't know.
It depends on when it's
Would
set,
you
right?
would you want to drop Garrus in a teaser poster though?
No, you
Well,
wouldn't.
I don't know.
Although,
Yeah,
unless
I just-
unless you
I'm
might gamble and get a
flabbergasted.
kick out of it, maybe.
Well, that's
you
true,
giggle
yes.
and you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Mike, then yes.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like an Angara, and then creepy cloak man, cloak person.
Looks like someone straight out of Anthem. What the hell?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I can't even tell what race that is.
Yeah.
I cannot
Well,
figure
you-
out a way to open this. Can
Oh,
someone make
that's-
like a Google link?
That's almost like when Saren was like Reaperfied, creepy.
I'm
He's
trying to
very
pull up the picture. I
I don't know what
cannot
that is.
Can
Oh.
can any of you
Yeah,
make
that's the vibe. Hey,
can any of you make a link in Google for me, because I cannot open it. First, it won't connect. Like OBS is being stupid, because I want to show everybody
let me
there's
try.
an Angara in here. There's a Geth in here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some crazy shit in here. I'm freaking out. I think there's a new alien.
There's a Geth in it.
I definitely want
I think
everybody
I'm
to see
seeing like an Asari wearing like masculine clothes next to that weird Geth looking thing with the singular eye. Don't know if that's just me going crazy. Like it kind of looks like the generic Asari faces in Andromeda.
Let me see if I
Um,
can.
how do I get this link over to you, Kala?
this.
Let me see if I can copy and paste the actual just
Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can
URL.
Yeah, have you opened it in Discord?
Oh no,
Ash sent
it
in
just
Discord?
does the same thing. Okay.
I'm uploading to Google Drive. Chat, hold on.
Okay.
I think I
got
We're
you,
trying
chat.
to get it to
We
you.
got you in a few moments.
We're geeking out. Sorry.
Oh.
I do like to comment. I get dressed for dancing. That would be amazing. Dance again.
Are
Fancy
you're making
Geth.
it a link, Ash?
Yes.
Thank
Give
you.
me a second. I'm making it public.
Do you say fancy?
I don't know why this is so
I did, yes.
complicated.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, chat.
Let
Please
me
be patient.
double check this is the right one.
Fancy Geth is always ready for dancing.
Mhm.
Okay. Ash has made us a Google Drive. Let's open it if it
Oh my
works.
God, I zoomed in too far.
So
Too many
you're
pixels. Too many
I'm
Why
pixels.
just
is it too hard?
zooming in a fun.
I want to yell at Gamble
I'm
for
too
making this.
excited.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Oh my god, thank you. I'm so sorry, chat. We got it though. Okay. Oh, I can't zoom in anymore. That's weird. It gives me a like I can't zoom in anymore. That's odd. But
Someone said
chat.
2 people at the front of the elusive man and Liara sharing a drink.
What?
The 2 at the
What?
forefront on the left.
Oh,
There is
meaning, like,
literally a
the
Geth wearing
guy?
Oh,
clothing.
no.
What is
that's
this?
just a dude.
What's that?
Yeah, I think that's meant to be a Geth in the
Where is
quote.
this Geth
That's definitely a
everyone
Geth.
talking
Yeah.
about?
No, that's
I think
definitely.
the
And
one, you
he's
know, the
wearing.
Angara next to the table and the weird
Yeah.
guy in the weird coat. I think that might be a Geth.
How cool is
Oh.
that though? Everybody's like hanging out.
Yeah.
Does
This
anyone
implies so
see
much
any
about the universe.
any Quarians? I don't see any Quarians. Does any of you
No,
see
I
any?
don't
Shit.
see any.
Good.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
haven't seen, no.
So
There's definitely Krogan though, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's 2
Maybe
Krogan.
Krogan and Volus
The
and
Volus all
Solarian.
together, yeah. Is that a Solarian with 1 horn? Or am I just looking
There's
at it
a-
from a funny angle?
Might just be a weird angle.
Yeah.
Definitely
can't
an
really
There's this
tell.
Angaran.
person at the
Yeah,
bar.
that's definitely an Angara.
Is that
The person, so there's the Volus, right?
Yeah.
2 to the
Yeah.
left of the Volus.
2 Krogans
What
to the,
is
yeah.
that? Is that
Tarian?
new Solarian? Is it a new alien?
That's what I was saying. I thought it was a Solarian with 1 horn, but
It's a
Solarian,
very
yeah, like,
tall
what?
Solarian, though.
Very tall,
there's
because
no
you can
Drells
see another
either.
Solarian
Hmm.
on the right next to the weird Geth person, and like they look kind of, you know, normal.
It's not potentially just a strangely drawn like female Turian, is there?
No, I don't
really
think
tell.
so.
And then there's the Angara, and then the person to the left, just like next to like I don't know, that glass
I
paneling.
just can't get over
tell
that
what
one
that is.
Turian with the eyepiece. Like, what?
Yeah, that definitely reminds me of Garrus.
Yeah, for sure.
It
But
seems so random.
I cannot get over the Geth in clothing
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
he's so awkwardly standing there.
That's interesting.
It's like, I definitely
Waiting for
want
someone
to be
you
here.
know.
He's like, yeah, I got invited, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're
They're
at
the
a point.
new, like, standing in the corner of the party.
Yeah.
They don't know who I am.
Well,
Everyone
nobody
else has a hard
dance with
time
me.
dancing.
I want to
It
see
just
Geth
implies-
dancing, just like Legion.
It just
Just-
implies so much about the world if there's Geth and, you know,
Mhm.
Krogan and Volus and Solarians and Asari and
But
humans all
all
hanging
in
out.
one place. Yeah.
Where,
I mean, why are
Definitely.
the Angara there? Like, is
Yeah.
this a
Why
thing
are the
on
Angara there?
Andromeda? Like, I just
Where are the Quarians?
further adds to the confusion.
I don't
okay,
know.
I want to
Which
They're
makes
all
me
different,
think
yeah.
these
this
two
make me
characters.
think this is Andromeda because there's no
Wait.
Quarians.
Which characters?
So these two next to the
Oh.
Solarian,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at them, okay, number one, it either looks like this dude on the left has clown painting on his face, which I doubt that's what it is. So it looks like maybe there's like some subtle facial, like alien aspect there, but also look at the shape of her head. Does that
Yep.
look odd?
Mhm.
I can't tell if that's hair or
Yeah, I can't tell
almost
either.
like
Could be like slick back hair, maybe.
I'm trying to look like if you look at her feet, right? Like it looks like heels, but is it like
Yeah.
Edie vibes? Is it like an AI
Oh,
like
maybe, yeah.
Oh.
feminine person? Like
Yeah,
Could
maybe.
be.
my initial
Synthetic.
thought was just either like a head wrap or something, but
Wait, is this a
kind of looks like
Quarian?
blonde.
This
Oh
one?
my God! What if it's a
If it
Quarian
is.
out of armor?
Yeah.
No
What if we're actually
way.
going
Is
to
that
get
what it
see
is?
Oh
Quarians?
shit.
What?
What if we're
Oh,
going to actually
man.
get to see
Oh, that's
Quarians out of
true.
Like a
armor?
leg.
If it's enough
Yeah.
of a time skip. Oh my God! I would love that.
'Cause, like that could be because like
Oh.
there are a few like well, I wouldn't say bold, but there are a few bolder characters that like their features are a bit strange. Could be Quarians that are.
Their feet
Wait,
would
are we
give them
talking about the
away.
one at the
Amazing.
bar?
Their feet would
Yeah.
definitely give them away, though, wouldn't they?
Wait, are we saying the
Because
Quarian's
Quarians
the
have
one
a
over
very.
the dude in the suit over the shoulder?
I
To the
don't
left of the
know.
Angara?
Mm,
Which
Oh, I
one?
see. It looks like a Quarian with a mask.
It's-
Hey?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
This one
legs.
looks like
See-
they have a mask on. But
It
maybe
kinda
this
looks like-
person is a Quarian without a mask.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, but look at the feminine shaped figure at the bar wouldn't like the Quarian's legs are more bent,
Oh, that's
right?
Yeah,
true. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
So it
legs
has to
don't look
be.
Yeah, I got
right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
distracted by
don't
that.
think that's a Quarian.
yeah.
The person that you circled next to the Angara reminds me of Ryder's helmet. I don't know if
Oh.
anybody else is seeing that.
I
Oh,
see
yeah.
what you mean, the Pathfinder where it has like the white bulky on the sides.
Yeah.
And I agree, but that also to me looks like they still have that like port thing in the back that the Quarians have on their suit. And the fact that we can't see their legs and body is suspicious. I cannot believe we're seeing a fucking Angara. And again,
Yeah.
No,
and
that's
again,
what throws
with
it.
clothes on.
Yeah.
I
And they're
can't
still-
get
We
Yeah.
just
behind
they're
we
that.
still
just
alive
talked
as
about how are they going to merge those two timelines and then
I know.
put Angara in there.
I
They
think
obviously
Liara is going
find
to
a
have to go
way.
to the future. I don't think that. How are they going to bring the Angara to the Milky Way galaxy?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. I think that's like one of the least.
And
likely.
it's the Angara being willing to go to the Milky Way galaxy as well.
Yeah, that
Like they
Yeah.
might not want to leave the Andromeda galaxy.
But wait, guys, remember in the teaser, it said Andromeda distress signal. So can this be Andromeda? What if something happens with like,
What if-
anomalies or wormholes or whatever?
Oh, what if the
What if they
scourge has
have to
got?
leave?
What if the scourge has gotten worse? What if it
Yeah.
spreads and it's no longer habitable?
And there is only one Angara here, so I mean, I guess it could be a like
Or
there's gonna be
maybe
Nexus.
maybe the
but-
maybe the Jardan have returned. I don't know. I'm just
Maybe the
speculating,
Jardan
but
made Angara elsewhere before they
maybe.
went to.
Yeah.
Because there is, before we have the events of the Jardan making, like before they started building like their remnant tech to like, help protect everything, there is that like gap of inactivity between or before, what is it, 2400. So realistically, if they wanted to write something, because there is a gap where we don't know what the Angara are doing, maybe they did make where we don't know what the Jardan are doing, maybe they made Angara elsewhere, and maybe we've discovered them elsewhere in the galaxy. Because you have to think, like, if they
Maybe
were
the Milky Way.
made, they don't have to be in one designated area if they were created. Maybe they planted them elsewhere as well.
Sure.
Would they do that though? Like,
I don't know. I mean, at this point, my mind is going crazy, so it's hard to
Yeah.
that's hard to say. Also, does this person look like they have a really long neck? Does anybody see
sorry,
that?
I'm waiting for the stream to update.
Oh yeah, sorry, I have a massive delay on the
Oh.
stream.
It's okay. I'm just gonna wait.
Maybe.
And what's this?
My
What
internet's
is
also
this
pretty slow.
person? What's on their head?
Sorry, I'm just still waiting for the long neck portion. Oh, I see what you.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Like, does
Yeah,
that
what
neck
the
look
heck?
abnormal?
It almost looks like
maybe-
a straight up like alien.
Yeah,
Like not even
it
Solarian.
does. Yeah.
It looks like a straight up alien.
I could imagine we're going to get some new alien races.
We have
for
to.
sure.
We
I
have
hope
to.
so.
They
I mean,
hinted,
I hope
right?
so.
Yeah.
In the thing, I think they said new aliens or whatever.
New worlds.
Look, here's
yeah.
another
I just
person
made
I
that
think
up.
with a long neck. I think.
You're just gonna point out all the long necks, man. Jeez.
Sorry to long
This
neck.
is
Just
the
trying to
analysis.
Also, what's up with Garrus's this Turian's arm? Does anybody see that?
Nah, man, it's Garrus.
I
love
do.
when you're like, oh,
Give it
sorry.
a
The
girl.
more I'm looking at him, the more I'm seeing it. But I don't know if it's just because I want to see it.
I
We've
know,
all just
right?
seen about
What
six
is this?
pictures.
Yeah.
It's Garrus.
Centurion? What
What
is
is this
Centurion that's
arm?
really loved Garrus? Like a fanboy or
Yeah.
something. Who knows?
What if it's a Garrus
Yeah, I
second,
love
right?
that. I
You
love
never
that.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing all the long neck stuff. Just 1 second, I need to zoom in
Yeah.
on my
Like Conrad Werner, but for Garrus.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone,
I feel like
Exactly.
Garrus has earned it.
someone in chat thinks this looks like PB. What do you guys
Oh?
think? This.
Oh, hang on. Gotta wait for it.
Sorry, the Asari in between the Angara and Geth.
I thought that it looked like the generic Asari, just like Lexi. I don't know if that's just me.
Oh yeah.
It looks
I
like they're
don't
wearing a
see
vest,
any
like a tech bro
Ralloy.
vest.
It looks like like a really masculine Lexi or something. I don't know.
Liara's father. That kind of
Athena.
vibe.
Athena.
Mm.
She always wore a dress though.
Maybe we'll get to meet like Liara's half sister.
I'm so here for that. That's
I'd
on
like
my
that.
wish list.
Yeah, I'd like that. That would be cool.
There are 2 aliens that I really wanted to see from the original trilogy that were never shown, that we do have lore on, but like I said, they weren't shown, and that's the Ralloy, which are basically, they're like a bird type species. There's no concept art for them. And then the virtual aliens, which there's also no concept for them, and we don't know if they used to have bodies, but now they don't. So I don't know like how any of that could work, but I don't see any what I think could be Ralloy based on what their descriptions are. So I don't see any possible Ralloy in here, which I kind of bummed out. I really wanted to see them because there's such a
I think
cool
they would
story behind them.
I think they would totally want to like have a huger reveal for that, because that would just be
I hope
absolutely
so.
massive and awesome, you know? So I think they wouldn't reveal that in something like this, you know? Like they're going to wait for Dreadwolf, and then I'm hoping we start getting, you know, a lot more
Some
stuff like
concept
that, you
art
know?
on new
Yeah,
races
new
and
aliens, like
locations. Yeah.
because we haven't seen truly anything that's been completely new. It's all just been, you know, like Liara or relay stuff. I guess that was the only new thing. Now we're seeing, you know, Turians, Solarians, Angara. Um, I think it'll happen eventually.
I'm surprised that they would show the Angara like this.
Yeah.
And the Geth. I can't get over this Geth having like clothes on. He actually looks like a character from
Yeah.
Destiny. I don't know if anybody's I can't think of what the name is, but yeah.
Cade?
No.
Do you mean no, not Cade?
Maybe it's just the silhouette kind of the figure, with like the
It's
shoulder
the
pads
hood.
and like it just the silhouette very much reminds me of not Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 100% wearing like clothes of some kind, which you never see.
And he looks so uncomfortable, like he just kind of like,
he
Mom, I
Yeah, see, waiting for my friend all alone.
like when I put clothing on my dog and he just like stops moving. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Put the
maybe
dog
that
booties on, and
implies
they're
the-
like, now what?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool if it implies the Geth, if this is a Geth that like they've evolved to a point where they actually have like individuality and they want to wear clothing and
That would be
all
Well,
that
yeah,
kind of
like
stuff.
The sentience, yeah. As
once
well, I mean,
again,
obviously you had Legion wearing the N7 armor, you know, like bits of Shepard's armor as like
Yeah.
a, you know, identity and respect to Shepard. So yeah.
I'm so curious. So they teased the Geth in that one, obviously the Geth poster. Now there's some Geth wearing clothes. The Geth were, you know, making synthetic sounds in the relay thing. Like, what is going on? Like, this seems like a very futuristic Geth. So
And if they take
some type of time jump, like,
yeah,
what do you guys think about Destroy making sense with all this? You know, like, is this part of, did the Geth go on the Quarian arc? Like, what's your guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's hard to say, but I think if they do a time jump to Andromeda, personally, I think it's a little bit, not that I don't think that Andromeda deserves some type of sequel, but I do think it's a little bit of a cop-out to focus on the Andromeda timeline versus the original trilogy timeline, because I think that majority of the fans want to know how everything was resolved with the Quarians, the Krogan, you know, I just feel like there's so much that they haven't addressed in Mass Effect 3 that it doesn't make sense to me to make everything in the Andromeda Galaxy, because then you don't really have to address the endings again. So yeah, you could absolutely be in the future. We could be in the Andromeda Galaxy. There would obviously be Angara. The Geth could have gotten there a million ways. Like, they could have been on board one of the arcs and been reactivated. They could have found some way to travel with their telescope. had a ton of resources. They also had access to unusual technology that we don't know was Reaper technology that created the telescope. So there's like a ton of reasons or a ton of ways that they could incorporate that storyline. I just don't understand why you would do it in Andromeda, I guess. I guess that to me, not that I'm against it, I just think the original trilogy, there should be a sequel after the events of Mass Effect 3 first.
So, in my interpretation of that, it's like, yeah, because that lack of closure, right? Like a lot of people wanted to do that. But at the same time, there's so many permutations that could be addressed with the endings of Mass Effect that if they were to canonize an ending, it diminishes the choice of everyone else who has opted for synthesis makes sense. I'm not going to argue like the pros and cons of each ending, but I will say there are people who have chosen other endings and have made it their own.
I totally I 100% agree, and that's why a lot of people talk about Destroy being canon and whatever, and like I don't see BioWare essentially disrespecting everybody's choices at the ending, because even though everybody's like everybody chooses Destroy, I mean that's not true. There are a ton of people who choose the other endings. So I don't realistically see BioWare being like, hey, we're canonizing an ending. It doesn't matter when you replay the trilogy what you choose. This is what's happening moving forward. I really don't see them doing that. But at the same time, I will say that part of the reason why I expected Shepard to turn around in this trailer today is that BioWare has a lot of negative press right now and has been making some very poor decisions and things that are absolutely going to affect them financially. And realistically, I think they need a win, and they need a big win. And that's why when I think of Shepard returning, I'm like, that is an easy financial guaranteed success. It doesn't automatically guarantee the game will be good or written well, whatever, but it's a financial, success. And so often it seems like studios are so run by corporate versus the devs these days that it's hard to know which way to like properly lean your expectations, because Shepard could return. Like they could. There's 100 YouTube videos about it. They're out there. It's possible if they wanted to do that and financially guarantee a return. So like I agree, they shouldn't canonize an ending, but financially I would understand if they did, because BioWare needs to sell Dreadwolf and they need to sell Mass Effect.
So like in my head though, it's like, I get that BioWare needs the win, but did they really have to bring Shepard as is? Because I feel like there are a lot of different ways, especially since they kind of went crazy in the previous trilogy, where they literally resurrected Shepard from like ash, like actual a carcass. So they could run with a lot of different things. So it's like,
I think it's just the safest choice when I'm saying that. I think it if you think about all of the things that you could do with the next game to like ensure a financial success, ensure a hype around it. When you think of the first thing that they could do easily, they could bring back Shepard, and immediately that would bring back a ton of fans. Like it would be very easy to go that route, I guess is what I'm saying. Like the safest choice.
Yeah, I just think the way that I consider it is that we don't need Shepard, and this is more, I guess, my opinion, but we don't need Shepard as the protagonist.
No, I totally agree.
We could have Shepard present in the universe and then be this new character who honestly looks great, could be our protagonist the way that they're presenting it, because it's very like that Inquisitor, that rider, that kind of like iconography right now, because that helmet is very iconic. But it's like, to me, it's like saying this is the protagonist. We are N7, and for real this time, rather than what we did with Ryder.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't like. I feel like we could have Shepard, but we could also be a completely separate character. And this person seems more competent. I mean, they're very assassin, very sleek, very cool. So
no, I totally agree, and I think Mass Effect needs to move beyond Shepard. You can't like. I don't think that Mass Effect should be a copy of like Halo, where they rely on Master Chief for everything. And like Mass Effect can be more than Shepard's story, and it absolutely should be. And yes, I want my Shepard back. I would do anything to hear Jennifer Hale as renegade FemShep. I would do anything. But I think for the longevity, and
I think Jennifer would do anything.
For sure. I would pay for it. Okay, I would. I don't know how, but I would do it.
100%.
But yeah, I think for the longevity of the series, and like because I think that existing fans also have to realize that a major and the biggest portion of who this game will be marketing to is new fans. So like you're going to want to bring new fans in, and a new character where they can project onto and whatever and be introduced to the series is a good way to go, especially if they want to expand. And another thing is like with a character like Shepard, having a trilogy where you focus on one character is very good. We've heard Mac Walters, who is obviously no longer at BioWare, say that they don't want to do another trilogy. Obviously, he could have meant that, or he could have just been saying that because out of respect for like an NDA or not revealing what they want to do yet. So, obviously that's still up in the air, but if they want the series to last, I don't think that they can make another Shepard trilogy. It would have to.
I don't think there'll be another.
Character.
I don't think they would do another Shepard trilogy. I think that would be definitely going backwards.
I don't think you can recreate that lightning in the bottle as well. There's something about the original Mass Effect trilogy that's just lightning captured in a bottle, and is so special. And however they created it, whatever they did, the writing, the cast, the voice acting, the story, it's just something about it. It's so hard to recapture that, right? And I don't think you should ever try to. I think you should try and tell new stories in an existing universe. And I agree with you 100%. Shepard is too much of a crutch. You need to move past Shepard's story. But at least if you started in somewhere that is familiar, and you have that kind of passing of the baton, and that's what they didn't have in Andromeda. Is it was too much of a removal. We're just going to take you out of the galaxy, completely new races, new cast of characters, and just expect people to connect to it straight away. And they tried to use Liara as a connection to the trilogy, and it didn't quite work. So I think you have to find that, and I agree with Ash. Like I think Shepard can be in it, but doesn't need to be the main protagonist, even if it's a mentor role. I would love if Shepard was around and was training a new generation of N7s, right, or something like that, where Shepard was passing on their experience, their skills, their knowledge, was maybe still trying to pull together races as like an ambassador role or something like that, keeping the races cohesive, keeping them working together so that they didn't fracture. Because obviously so much was learned through the trilogy, and part of the trilogy was that hope of pulling races together to fight the Reapers. And it seems in this, which makes me quite hopeful, but in this art that we see, this it looks like that has happened. These multiple races that were at war with each other, that were couldn't be in a room together, that wouldn't fight together, that they're actually just all together. Like, I'm kind of excited about that, you know what I mean? And sort of seeing where that post-war galaxy is. But I do think you have to move past Shepard, otherwise the series is never going to move forward. And I think if you live too much in the past, there's so many great stories to be told, so many great races, so many options, So
can you move past Shepard without having them like have closure
you
with their
need
love interest, though?
closure.
Like truly, I feel like that's the one sticking point where everyone's just like, we just wanted our Shepard to have their happy ending,
I felt the
Like
same
that
way.
would require at least one game. Like I don't think it would require a trilogy, but Yeah, another point I wanted to bring up is I found it interesting in Andromeda to do with like, them potentially canonizing things. In Andromeda, it seemed like they were trying to almost have a way out for people either curing the genophage or not curing the genophage. Because a few
Oh,
of
you
those
mean
Krogan of the Nakmor,
the
yeah, like they were
enhancements
resistant.
and yeah.
Yeah, like it seemed like they were trying to take a player choice out of it. And which I would fully understand. Like you need to have somewhat of a coherent plot. But I am curious whether they are moving away. Like when I was playing Andromeda, obviously there weren't as impactful choices. Like I think the most impactful thing you could do is whether the Angara AI lives or dies or something like that. They had a really coherent, like straightforward plot line. And I'm wondering if in the future they're going to kind of move forward with that kind of system in terms of story where they don't necessarily allow us full on like, like Vermeer, like you get to straight up just kill a squad mate. Like that wasn't anywhere in anything in Andromeda. So I'm curious as to like where they're going to literally take the next game in terms of our player choice cuz with the genophage thing I found that interesting that they were trying to find like a loophole, is what it seemed like.
I do think it's quite interesting though because like they with all the choice you had in the trilogy, they did kind of write themselves into that corner, didn't they?
Yeah.
The
Like are
next
they
game they're like,
trying
oh
to
crap.
not do that again?
Yeah, maybe
They're
they don't
removing player
want
choice,
to.
which would be fair. Like I would
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Um,
But is that
I don't
the
know.
like do you lose a little bit of the heart of Mass Effect by doing that?
It's a balancing at that point, right? Because it's like you don't want to kill every single Krogan. There's always the possibility of, well, maybe there's this subsection that we completely miss, which is what they did in Andromeda, which personally I thought it was fine because it was a very much a they it's like you can't just kill off the entire civilization like that. Realistically, no.
The Batarians would disagree.
Okay. So they're still alive.
Not every Batarian died.
We haven't seen a
It's like,
Batarian
speaking
in
of-
any of these.
Poor
I was gonna say
Batarians.
there's no Batarians, there's no Vorcha in any of these, and like as far as we know, they never made that.
That's true.
I mean, there's a
Vorcha.
difference between the canon reasons and the hey, we don't have the resources to have these characters in the game.
Yeah.
If Mark Mears
Yeah.
coming back is running out of characters to play, there's
Well,
no
that's true.
Batarians
No
of
kidding.
Vorcha.
He needs to play Vorcha 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, and Blasto.
Yeah.
He'll still be there somehow for sure.
Oh, he will, 100%.
Yeah.
This picture does make me hopeful though. I really love the aesthetics. It looks like everybody has like really interesting clothing compared to in the original trilogy, how everybody has kind of the same, especially the Asari, they all wear the same dresses. So it looks like we're getting some new aesthetics. Everything looks really cool. I think this makes me hopeful. And I do see some like heads that look like they could be other like things, other like shapes that we haven't seen before. There's also over at the bar, there's this red Solarian. I don't know if they're just like really red from the lights or maybe they're like virtual. I don't know.
Real quick, Kayla,
your mic.
Yeah.
Oh, can you not hear me?
Sorry.
Yeah, it went down again.
Really quiet. Yeah, like really, really quiet.
Yeah,
Oh,
weird.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you sound a little bit like
No.
almost like you're like away from your mic, like a little bit distant.
Oh,
or
my dogs
something.
are barking, so I turned down my
There you go.
gain earlier. My bad.
There you go.
No
You're good.
problem.
There we
Sorry.
go.
Okay, but what I was saying though is that this piece makes me excited. And there's these two figures right here at the bar that look like maybe they're just like super red from the lighting at the bar, or maybe they are virtual aliens. I don't know, but their head shapes look a little interesting, and this one seems to be a lot smaller, like body frame. So just some. Sorry.
Is that
Just
that a bartender?
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
loud.
They look like the bartenders because they're on the other side of the
Maybe.
bar.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really interesting aesthetics overall in this piece. It looks really good
maybe
though.
multiple arms, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
It's hard to. We can't really see very much, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff here.
like-
I really wish that we were getting confirmed Quarians. All I see is what could potentially be is this person with maybe a mask on. I think the Quarians are one thing that I would really like to see, especially with the returning Geth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also brings into question though, like did you choose the Quarians or the Geth? Unless like they're gonna say, the Geth
Or make
or
peace.
the
Yeah.
Quarians that were on the Keylessia, like that's gonna be the only Quarians left or whatever. It's that choice, right? Like what if they don't want to tease it in case you didn't choose them, you chose the Geth. But now they're teasing a Geth, so like you never know.
Yeah.
You literally never know. The one person you circled, so by the Garrus looking Torian on the like to the left, behind what I think is the
Mhm.
Asari,
Right there.
kind of looks Drell. I don't know though.
I don't even think that this looks.
I'm just getting Thane vibes, but
I don't even think that this looks like maybe Solarian by like the arm and like chest, but the head looks more, it's like sweeping like this to me. So maybe a Solarian because it kind of has this shape here. I don't know.
Okay.
They should give us a higher def version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me 8K or
Tomorrow.
nothing.
Gotta consume in more.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
Let me
that there's
check
that
if
muddle
there's
at the
more
bottom of the
mutants.
stairs as well of like just figures
Yeah.
at the bottom of the stairs, and I don't even want to even hazard a guess to what half of those things are. I can't even tell. It's just shapes. I want higher res. I do.
I just love this though, like hiding like a scene or information within like,
Mhm.
a concept art
yeah.
with the main character. It's just cool. Just very cool. I love it.
I'm not seeing anything new on Twitter.
No,
No.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've
if
been
anybody
looking
else is
too.
seeing anything.
I think it's all dying down a little bit.
Yeah, I
now,
think
so-
Mike Gamble's
Yeah.
done his job for
he's,
the day.
he's done his
He's
trolling.
done
He's gone to
his
bed now.
job.
He's
Yeah.
done his job.
He's home
His
laughing
chaos
like
is
evil
done.
laughter.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I think we
Yeah.
can probably call it unless you guys have any more comments on
Nope.
what we saw today. How's everybody, as like a final question, how are you feeling about the next game?
I have more questions than answers,
same.
I would say today.
Same.
But I'm very intrigued. I'm still
Mm.
super excited. I want to just pick through everything with a fine-tooth comb, like overanalyze probably every part of it.
Same.
I was disappointed. I don't know if I was or not about the fact it wasn't Shepard. I don't know. I feel conflicted. But I'm excited. I'm actually more intrigued by the protagonists, actually, since we've seen them. I'm actually more intrigued if they're not Shepard. Like, who are they? Like, what are they doing? Like, how is Liara tied to it all?
Yeah.
How is Andromeda tied to it all? When is this set? Because for me, it feels like it's far in the future just because of the fashion and the technology and the style of everything. For me, it feels like a time skip. So I'm intrigued by that. But I have way more questions than answers, for sure. And I can't wait I'm hoping for something at the Game Awards. I think that's going to be the
Same,
next
yeah.
thing I hope for.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ash, how are you feeling?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Which one? There's two.
Yeah.
There's two.
Oh, yeah.
I am also Ash.
Whichever Ash speaks first.
Go ahead.
I think we're all quite happy a few years ago when the game was initially released that Mass Effect will continue trailer because there was the nostalgia of having Liara there and potentially some old crew in the background. Obviously, they were never identified, but and there's the N7. You think, oh, maybe Shepard, and then that's kind of carried us over for the last 3 years. But having seen like these short teasers, seeing it all together, I'm not disappointed. I'm with Kate on this one. I think there's a lot more intrigue now. It does feel like there's a lot more kind of a closer knit direction as to where they want to go with it. But again, there's a lot more questions than answers. We've literally been sat here for nearly an hour talking about the image inside of another image. So, so like we've been talking about the image inside of the bigger image and barely spoken about the bigger image because the smaller image has got much more detail in it. So, and it makes me a lot more excited than I have been. Like I was excited about the last trailer, of course I was, but there wasn't enough there to say, right, this is confirmed. This was 3 years ago. So now we're at a point where potentially they may not be in pre-production anymore. 3 years is a long time for something to be in pre-production. So hopefully they've now got a direction they want to go, whether it's merging the Andromeda and the Milky Way galaxies into the same story timeline, who knows. But this was really interesting to see. And again, I'm excited to just dive into it further and see what else comes out of it. Obviously, we probably won't get anything now till maybe the Game Awards, but I'm reluctant to go full steam ahead to say there will be something because I don't know if there will be. So I'm unsure. But this was good. I enjoyed what they released. So,
Rima, what do you think?
I'm probably much the same. I enjoyed everything I saw. I was a bit underwhelmed. I was hoping for a bit more, as I'm sure everyone always wants a bit more. I think the coolest thing is the character look, the art style of the character, and the armor and everything like that. I like that direction. I think that's really cool, and the world that they are seemingly building seems interesting, seems futuristic, even more than Mass Effect already was. So that's very cool. But I will say I'm cautiously excited with everything that's happened with BioWare recently. So I look forward to seeing more. Hopefully at the Game Awards, fingers crossed. So yeah.
All right, what about other Ash?
So I'm it's interesting. It really is. Because I also come from more so on the Dragon Age side, so it's like I'm expecting way more of that right now rather than Mass Effect. So for me, seeing this trailer or this teaser rather drop now is very much what I mentioned earlier, which was Liara last time was the Paragon reveal, and this one is the Renegade reveal. So it's like this is a good thing to start, or not start to reveal today. But at the same time, I don't even expect now, because we saw this, I don't even expect marketing for this game until way after, well, maybe even next year for N7 Day. But it looks good. I'm pretty sure this is a protagonist, but at the same time, it gives me that evil vibe. So I really hope they're actually a possible gray character. I know I'm asking too much of that because it's obviously Paragon Renegade has always been like the cool thing for this series, but like I want a real gray hero, and I feel like this gives that vibe.
Yeah.
And it really makes me excited, but I don't want to get excited.
I'm with you on that one. That's why I'm like, it's so great. It almost feels like, is it a protagonist? Is it an antagonist? It's so great. You can't tell. And I love that.
Yeah, because it's a freaking
love that.
It gives like James Bond kind of vibes right now.
Yeah.
The silencer on the gun, the freaking club.
I've just
so
played
cool.
I just finished Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, so all I see is spies everywhere.
Yup.
I love that. So that'd be so cool if that was sort of the vibe they were going for.
Yeah. Like in my head, for the next protagonist, it has to be a character that is extremely confident, like has that flair. Because for me, it's like coming from Ryder. For the last game, it's like, okay, we need someone who can really fill the N7 shoes for real. And I feel having a spy character, or like what they're presenting here, like, okay, I feel the vibe, I see the vibe. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, I'm a hard Renegade player. Like, I play like 95% Renegade. So I'm absolutely enjoying the lean into kind of like that, like gritty. Sorry, my dog is mad. I'm absolutely leaning into that, like you're saying, that, you know, that James Bond kind of like maybe evil aspect. And in Andromeda, you couldn't be bad. Like, you could, but it didn't make sense. It didn't fit the narrative. And in the original trilogy, you can be renegade, but, and I love the renegade choices, but ultimately, that story is made to be Paragon. So when you play renegade, it feels, aspects of it feel like counterproductive to the narrative. So I would love to see them lean more into that like gray area, like you were saying, Ash.
Yeah, Kayla, your audio, by the way. Sorry.
Oh my God. I turned it down because my dog was barking again. I'm so sorry. Okay, like I was saying, I want the renegade, basically, is what I was saying. Because it doesn't make sense in the other games to really play renegade. It just doesn't fit the narrative because you're supposed to be the hero. So I would love to see more of like a gray area, like you said. And then I think Atharia. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Honestly, I was hyping it in my pre-stream. I was like, this is going to be Shepard. But thinking about it, if they actually revealed Shepard, the only thing in BioWare's mentions and stuff for anything to do with Dragon Age would just be just release Mass Effect, just give us Mass Effect news. So I do think they're going to wait for the Shepard reveal because I do think that Shepard will be back. It's like Liara brushing off that N7 insignia to me means Shepard is going to be back, even though this might not be them. So my initial feeling was disappointment. I think that we're going to have to wait probably a year for Dreadwolf to be released to get a Shepard reveal. But yeah, with this, like you guys said, like this character is just badass. Like they're giving off such great vibes that it is giving me hope that even if Shepard doesn't come back, like I would 100% want to play as this N7. And just the world that they are seemingly, introducing, with this random like Geth night and just bringing the Angara into it. Like I'm so curious. I think that out of anything, my initial feeling was disappointment, but it's turned into more inquisitiveness and definitely excitement. And very much looking forward to the first N7 day after Dreadwolf releases, because I think that's when they're going to go super hard and be like, okay, it's time to go full on, get people hyped. Because I think Dreadwolf is the thing holding them up right now. Like I don't know if you guys caught, there was a Mike Campbell, like somebody replied under his tweet that it was very underwhelming. And he said that's fair, and stuff like that. But still said, there's still stuff in the poster. So I do think that they're waiting on something big as well, but they don't want to step on the Dragon Age toes and stuff like that. So cautiously optimistic and definitely waiting for either the Game Awards or whatever happens next year.
Sweet. Well, everybody who has been watching, thank you so much. This was a pretty good N7 day. We got to see some really great stuff, a lot of theorizing, and I really love how interactive they're being with how they're revealing stuff. It's really cool. Make sure to follow everybody here. We have Ash and Rima from Outer Odyssey. If you haven't watched any of their stuff, I don't know if you guys are in the chat, but if you could link your YouTube so that people can find you. And then we have Ash at Lady Insanity. We have Atharia at Paragon N7. And we have N7 Kate at N7 Kate. So follow us. I know that I will be making a bunch of breakdown videos. I'm going to go over the timeline again and reanalyze this image. And I know everybody else here is going to do that too. So if you want some more upcoming Mass Effect content, make sure to follow everybody and check our channels. All right. Well, thank you everybody, and happy N7 day.
Happy N7 day.
Happy N7 day, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody.